more of their time. They'll get the pressure and Wolf straight in the back of the net. Holy cow, Debbie.
That was a bit unfortunate. Doomster, maybe he's getting a little bit of lag or something. Who knows? Just an unfortunate turn, and he's unable to get back to the ball. The Griffins take notice and put themselves up 2-0 in this game.
Yeah, definitely. I'm liking to see the aggressiveness from the Griffins, showing that their offense should be feared and their defense too. I mean, that's been very good. They haven't really given the Penguins many shots on net. So the Penguins, they need to come back out in this game in the second half of this game and take it to these Griffins. Definitely not really showing much of that fierceness. So hopefully they bring this game back close, and there one goes, Doomster in the back of the net.
Yeah, we see Latrap right here catching Cometix, kind of awkward right here, and Doomster sitting there waiting for the pass. Latrap knows what's going on, throws it out, and Doomster finishes.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for the Penguins because they had two unanswered goals going against them. So to get that one back, maybe they can get something started and bring this back to a closer game for them. But the Griffins, they have to come back out and just shoot the ball lights out if they want to keep the lead in this game. Because this Penguins team, on paper, they can bring this game back easily. So the Griffins just have to hold out on this one. As Cometix put one in the middle, very close, but the Penguins defense is kind of, I don't know, sitting back a little bit too far for my liking at least. We'll see what they do with their defense right now because, I mean, already 2 goals against them in half of the game. They're only down one now since they got that goal. But we'll see how how these teams even out at the end of it because this is only a filler game, Debbie. This series is going to be crazy if this is how their first game is going with a very close game in the first game.
Yeah, I very much so like to consider the game one like a feeler game. It looks like, even here, it doesn't look like like either players are playing extremely fast. There's been a lot of possession control and suffocation from the Griffins against the Penguins. Uh, so I'm really looking forward to what game two has in store and how the Penguins respond.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's why the Griffins are up in this situation is because they put so much pressure early game on this Penguins team. In the first game, you don't really expect that. Most teams come out a little slow as it is the filler game, but it seems like the Griffins, as Cometix puts one in the back of the net. But as I was saying, it almost seems like their filler game is just all out, go for the ball and surprise them, which honestly I like. I think that's a good strategy to bring into this game because it gives you the element of surprise.
Yeah, it's like all this offensive pressure, they're just sitting there, they're waiting for the Penguins to make mistakes, and because of the offensive presence that the Griffins are establishing, they're sitting there and they're already ready for those mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, looks like I believe this was Cometix, just slightly misses the ball over here. Oh, that's unfortunate, but the Griffins are still up 3-2.
Yeah, Cometix finally getting unlucky. I've seen him go for a few of those in this matchup, and they worked out for him. The Penguins putting it straight into him, but they learned this time putting that ball around his pre-jump 50, and that ball going straight in. That's got to feel good for the Penguins, but Cometix saying, "I'm back. I'm not whiffing this time," and the Griffins are up 2 goals on this Penguins team.
Yeah, Batwolf playing a little bit of a disruptor right there, forcing Doomster out of position or to make a quick save at the very least, and Cometix is able to not miss the ball this time and sink it into the back of the net.
Yeah, definitely. It's got to feel good for the Griffins giving up that pretty free goal. To be honest, they give the Penguins team a pretty uncontested goal, and that's got to feel good for them to get that two goal lead back. Now it's going to be a lot harder for this Penguins team, and Comentix is lights out right now, Debbie. There is nobody stopping him on that defense. The Penguins have to switch something up. Well, I mean, maybe it's just his shot placement. He's putting it around the defender every time.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a misplay right there by Doomster. I think he was trying to catch the ball and take it up the wall, misses the catch, and Cometix just punishes.
Yeah, most definitely seeing a lot of aggression. Holy cow, Debbie. What are these Penguins? What are they thinking right now? Cometix is lights out, not giving them any chances to do anything. He puts the ball around them every time and has the open shot.
Yeah, if I were the Penguins, you know, this one's chalked already. We go next. We try to keep up the match that aggression that the Griffins are pulling out because right now the Penguins are getting beat to the ball.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think for the Penguins right now, it's just that they're sitting so far back. In Star League, if you sit back, you're going to be the team that gets absolutely chalked on. I like that word, absolutely chalked on. You can't sit back in this league per se. It just seems like you don't want to be the team. You want to be the team that's known to have a good defense, but you don't want to be the team that's known specifically for your defense. And I say that over and over because some teams seem to think that as long as okay, okay, Commentix is just showing off at this point, Debbie. I don't know what to say at this point. He's just putting goal in after goal. This Penguins team is in shambles right now.
Yeah, well, you know, it's been the last 30 seconds. The Griffins aren't stopping, and I don't blame them. You know, a little stat padding is always nice, but I don't think the Penguins are too hurt about this game one loss. You know, it's a whole series, so I think they come back and you know, respond with a little bit more aggression in that game too. But Griffins taking the lead in the series 1-0.
Yeah, definitely the Griffins coming out early in this series and showing dominance. But yes, I do agree. We still have the whole series to still see. We have what a guaranteed at least two more games. Hopefully, we go to game five. I want a game five to start off. Just to start off the night, a game five. That just sounds nice. Even if it's against my team, I want a game five. But hopefully the Penguins do come out and show more dominance and not sit back as much because they gave the Griffins team they gave them free reins to do what they wanted and didn't really stop them anywhere. Yes, they did get the two goals back, but still 5 goal deficit in first game. That's never what you want. You never want something like that to happen because it slows you down in the long run. They have to come back and show the Griffins how they play the game of Rocket League. I mean, they can't sit back and let the Griffins take it to them. They have to switch something up to where they're on the offensive and take the offensive from the Griffins. As we get into game two, we're gonna see how both teams come into this one. Definitely good for the Griffins, favoring them because they're coming in off of a win. So we'll see how the Penguins react from that dangerous offense the Griffins have. And Latraptavius, oh lord, I'm gonna have fun saying with that one. Holy cow, that's a doozy of a name there, Debbie. Um, that's
We could just call him Latrap. I don't think that's gonna bother him. Oh, wow.
wow. That's all the casters have to say is wow.
Yeah.
Commentic's showing that he's not cooling off in the second game. He's gonna keep taking it to this Penguins team. They have to get him off the ball. At this point, it's not even don't play defense. It's get Cometix off the ball because right now he is showing them what kind of a star player he really is.
You know, if the Penguins can win this boost battle,
Oh
oh
no.
my.
Oh no. 2 goals down already in what is that, 39 seconds?
Yeah, that's just unfortunate. Latrap trusting Doomster there to get the save. Doomster just slightly misses, and now the Penguins are down 2-0. But like I was saying before, if the Penguins can win this boost battle, they can start beating Commentix to the ball instead of having to make these low boost awkward situations work in their favor. And if they can do that and possibly get some demo play in the works, take Commentix out of the game, they can look to try to get this game back under control.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree. If they can take Comets out of the game with a little bit of physicality, because that's the only way you can do it. You're playing so quick. I mean, just going for bumps is not going to work because he's going to recover so quick you're not even going to notice it. But if you can start getting demos on him and sending him back into his half, you won't have that as much of a threat in that striking. Then again, unless Wolf steps up into it. But right now, it's all Commentix this game, or so far at least in this half of the game. But
Yeah, I would argue that at this point, Wolf hasn't had to step up because Commontex is just doing all the work. And it's a little bit scary to think that these Griffins can kick it into another gear if both players really start getting involved and making plays.
Yeah, most definitely. We haven't even seen a team play yet, Devin. We've only seen Commentix play, so definitely. Well, the Wolf had I think he's had a few assists so far in this series as well, but it's definitely Commentix coming in with most of the goals. Um, it's this is crazy because right now, in my opinion, it's just the Penguins whiffing way too much. I've seen them double commit 3 times, I believe, that I can count in this game already. They're double committing and then they're whiffing at the same time, and that's a very bad combo against a team who is shooting lights out right now. So they need to clean up their rotations, clean up the whiffs, and definitely clean up the comms. But I don't see that being much else except comms because what a ball. What a ball.
There's that's what happens when Wolves get involved. And like I was mentioning earlier, I think all these awkward situations and plays that the Penguins are finding themselves in is because they're losing this boost battle. The the Griffins are just controlling that midfield boost, keeping that pressure. I mean, they spent almost like a whole minute right now in the Penguins half just keeping them locked on defense. And when you're locked on defense and start whittling away that boost, you're gonna be awkward.
Yeah, definitely. And the Penguins have to find a solution here, Debbie. I mean, I believe that, including last game, that's 5 unanswered goals so far. They haven't scored, and the Griffins have scored 5 goals since the last time the Penguins scored. So that's a pretty crazy stat. They have to pick something up, and I do agree it is a boost game. They need to starve this Griffins team and also play aggressive with them, play a little physical, demo them so they don't even have a chance to save that ball. Um, but this game, it's not over yet. We have a minute and 45 seconds left. They need to somehow mount a comeback or even get a little spark going because right now it's lights out for the Griffins as Dubser puts that to the corner. Wolf takes it out. Tavius into the corner. Over one, but Commentix recovers. A double commit from the Griffins. We'll see what the Penguins can come up with. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened there, Debbie. It seems like both teams got a little bit nervous in that corner, and neither one being able to capitalize.
What a save by Latrap. Little pass back there from Wolf. Let's see what Commontex comes up. And I don't think either one of us have mentioned it, but this is the debut match for Commontex on the Griffins roster. The Griffins having just made a bit of a roster moving, putting Bell into their reserve position. So this is a debut match for Commontex, and so far it's been fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I would say so myself. I'm a happy GM right now. Uh, I'm gonna be honest, Debbie. You know more about my Star League team than I did. I didn't even know he hasn't played yet. I haven't paid too much attention to the higher leagues, but that's definitely good to know that I have somebody insane on the Star League team that can come out in games like this and just show off. Not too good for the Penguins right now. I don't know what's wrong, Debbie. We've kind of pointed out what they can do to bring this game back, but it doesn't seem like they're trying anything different. They're kind of just letting the Griffins step on them, and even Wolf getting a little bit physical, going for demos now and just giving Commentix the goal, saying, "Here, have this." They're not even going to defend. At this point, I don't know what they changed because they're not doing much right now.
Yeah, it almost seems like maybe the Penguins are kind of turtling up on defense. I know it's very hard to break out of defense when you have low boost, but they need to play aggressive. They need to get these challenges. Give the give the Griffins no time on the ball because it looks like almost every single time the Griffins can do whatever they want and go unchallenged until they make it to the Penguins net.
Yeah, definitely. And the Griffins take that one. That's just it's 2-0 in the series right now, Debbie. It's definitely on paper, and we're casters. We do not listen to paper because we've seen it time and time again. Paper means nothing in this league. Crazy things happen, and right now the Griffins are showing that crazy things can happen. Right now, this Penguins team should be out shooting and just outplaying this Griffins team, but the Griffins team is not laying down. They're playing to the best of their abilities, and right now it's showing. It's crazy that 4-0 Penguin not being able to score in over 7 minutes of gameplay, I believe it was. What are your thoughts? What do you think, Debbie? I know we've talked about how they can come back in this series, but I'm just confused at how this game or how this series is going.
Well, if I were the Penguins, this series isn't over. It's only game two. Right now would be when you rally back, when you start talking about, all right, this is what we need to change. This is what needs to happen. We need to take common ticks out of the game because Griffins just beat us 4-0, and all four goals were scored by common ticks. So that is the player to take out. They need to I I believe they need to get a little bit more physical, win that boost battle, and start taking over.
Yeah, most definitely. They do need to take him out of the game because he's showing he's insane at this game, and it's kind of crazy to me. Um, how he's coming out in his first game of the season. That befuddles me because you don't really see players step up like that in their first game, and right now he's just going off. As we get into game three, we'll see if the Penguins can mount a comeback. Tavius up the sidewalk. He's going to leave that one down for Doomster into the corner, but Wolf getting a nice clear out to midfield, pushing that into Tavius, but Tavius not getting the 50 he wanted. And oh, Wolf almost putting that one in the back of the net. Cometics into the corner. Tavius with a 50 into the Penguins corner. Wolf on the ball, getting that cleared all the way back out into the Griffins half. Cometics going off the wall. Doomster with the early challenge, and I'm gonna say already, this
Was
Penguins
that?
team is already showing a new side. They're coming out way more aggressive. It almost seems like in the third game, when you're down 2 games in the series, the first 2 games, it's almost like you have nothing to lose, Debbie. And right now, it seems like they have nothing to lose, so they're just going full force.
Oh yeah, I agree. And Wolf kind of taking my words of advice with the physicality, but we do see a demo there from Doomster onto Wolf. He's having none of those shenanigans anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. I like seeing that though. Definitely one of the teams stepping up and showing more physicality. And honestly, it's the wrong team. I think Penguins should have taken that earlier and went ahead and went for more demos. I mean, it it doesn't seem like they they have the physicality in them. It almost seems like they're trying to play a clean game of Rocket League with a clean team game of Rocket League, and they're trying to play off the Griffins' mistakes. I'm gonna be honest, they're not showing much mistake right now, so they have to switch this game around and play the same way that the Griffins were playing against them. And it's definitely showing that they are trying at least a little bit towards that. Because right now, I mean, the half the game's gone right now, Debbie. And I was just about to say that the Griffins haven't scored, but Wolf puts one in the back of the net. The Penguins have to figure something out right now, Debbie.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. The Penguins trying to create some offensive presence there, lacking a little bit of boost. They get bumped into each other, and there's just no one there to be able to recover fast enough, and the Griffins were able to take full advantage of it. But we did see a little bit of a stalemate before they scored, so I'm hoping that the Penguins can come out and make this more of an even fight in here in Game Three.
Yeah, most definitely. I would like to see them come back at least a little bit and try to bring this series back. But it doesn't seem like that's happening as Commentix puts one in the back of the net, completely shattering this Penguins defense.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And Doomster with a misread right there, and Comitex just takes full advantage. Adds another one to the scoreboard.
Yeah, most definitely. The Penguins down 2-0 in this game with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go as Doomster takes one up, but hits the backboard. Not able to get anything past the Griffins defense. They're even challenging him on the backboard, but Penguins. Oh, and it almost comes out, but Doomster puts one in the back of the net. That's got to feel good for them. That's their first goal in almost 2 games.
Maybe this is a spark of life for the Penguins. Hopefully they can come back into this game and deliver us some more Star League action.
Yeah, most definitely. This Star League as well is kind of a mosh pit of skill because there's not really any team who's at a disadvantage in this league. There's not really any team that shows a little bit less than the other. And so all of our games in Star League are normally good unless the team's having a bad day. And I'm hoping this Penguins team can show what kind of team they really are and bring this series back. But that's definitely a good sign that they're bringing that back. And I'm not sure what Doomster was doing, Debbie. I don't know if you want to take a look at this, but Doomster going for a squishy save, but that's not. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Yeah, maybe he's experiencing some kind of lag, seeing something else. Uh, maybe thought the ball was going to go a bit higher, tried to go for the squishy, but Wolf just keeps it low and secures a goal.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the Penguins are playing a little bit of a weird game of Rocket League. I'm not sure what's going on in their comms or in their minds, but hopefully this weird style will work out for them and they bring this game back. A minute and 45 seconds left. What did they have to change about their gameplay right now, Debbie? They picked up the aggressiveness, but something else has to change because this Griffins team is not slow.
I feel like they just need to play a little bit smarter with the ball. Try to keep possession, go for 50s instead of just booming the ball. Just pick their battles with the ball, I would say. Like like right there, the trap, taking it around Wolves to keep the possession, and Doomster has a chance right here. And the Penguins cut the lead by 1 goal.
Yeah, and Debbie, this is definitely what we wanted to see. We wanted to see them come back and have a solid game three to try and at least bring this series back to a 2-1, so they have a little bit of momentum going into that fourth game, and they're definitely showing a little bit of momentum starting to gain a little bit of momentum as one almost goes in the back of the
Dang.
net. Holy cow, this Penguins team is definitely taking your advice and playing a lot smarter and putting a lot more shots near the net. This Griffins team's probably not expecting that. So we'll see how the last 50 seconds of this game go.
Yeah, oh, you see a double commit coming out from the Penguins now. This is what I mean by playing smart. Latrap going, taking it over. Doomster unfortunately wasn't able to finish, but this might be a counterattack opportunity for the Griffins. Oh,
And that's
and
not what you want to see, Debbie. That's
yeah,
not
and
what you want to see.
I don't blame the Penguins. 30 seconds left. You need to, you need to at least tie this game up so that you can at least force an overtime. And it was just unfortunate that Doomster couldn't finish.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you have to go for something in that situation. You have to at least try to get that equalizer, so you can try to take that into overtime. And Politics whipping a little bit on the back line, but the Penguins not punishing for that one. But I do agree. They kind of did have to go for something. There was only 30 seconds left. They needed an equalizer to just at least send us into overtime and give them a chance of winning this game. But overcommitting just a little bit too hard and giving the Griffins a free goal. And that's a 3-0 sweep, Devamine. A 3-0 sweep. Not what we expected in this series. We expected it to be a little bit closer, but the Griffins coming out in this series and just dominating.
Yeah, I thought I would see a little bit more from the Penguins, considering this was their A lineup, coming out against a C lineup. I, I was hoping to see a closer battle. I mentioned earlier that it would be an uphill battle, but I predicted wrong. It was more so an uphill battle for the Penguins. Instead, Commontex just coming through and showing out for the Griffins in his debut match.
Yeah, most definitely. He came out here and showed what kind of a player he really is. And that's an insane series to me because I mean, that just tells you never listen to paper because I mean they come out in the series and they dominate so much and just completely shut the Penguins team down, not even giving them a chance to come back in this series, Debbie. They had their they had their foot on the pedal and that pedal was all the way to the floor all the way through that series. So definitely showing a lot of dominance. What do you think the Griffins are thinking right now? What do you think are going through their heads?
Oh, why don't we try and get some interviews?
I will see if I can't get them in here. Uh,
You're the GM, just strong arm
Strong arm 'em.
them.
Gotta make sure they come in here for the interview.
Oh yeah, uh, you can't have the Griffins winning without the Griffins GM not interviewing them.
I get to interrogate my own team and not make fun of them, totally. I wish honestly, Debbie, I wish I could figure out, what was going through the Penguins' heads too, because they kinda played a weird game, but we'll get to that in a minute. We have the Griffins. We have the Star League Griffins ready for a post-game interview. Wolf and Commentix, how does it feel?
Pretty
Feels
good, you know?
feels great.
Get
Just
carried
being
by
out
my
there on the pitch, you know?
wolf just creates space for me, and I just go for ball. It's great.
Yeah, and I'm a bad GM. Debbie just made me feel like a horrible GM. Commentix, your first game in this league, or well, in this season, sorry,
Mhm.
you completely showed off. Wolf gave you the room and you were lights out from shooting. How does that feel?
Feels really good, you know, me and Wolf have played together a long time, so there's a lot of chemistry, like, we kinda know what each other's gonna do, so I know that he's very good at the physical aspect, so I can just trust that he'll land those and I can shoot the shots.
Yeah, and last question before I hand this off to Debbie and let him interrogate you as well. Wolf, I gave you the reins this season, man. I'll let you take care of your team, and right now you are taking
Mhm.
care of business. How does it feel to get that win?
It feels great knowing that I've picked up 2 people that I know can carry me. I just kinda throw the ball away and then go chase someone like a monkey.
Fair enough, Debbie. You got anything?
Yeah, so I got a question or two here. So going into this match, not sure if you guys were aware, but the Penguins sent out their A lineup, Doomster and Latrap. Were you guys in any way intimidated at all? Or was it, nerves of steel going into this match because you guys sent in your C lineup?
Um, so I don't feel like my team has a bad lineup, to be honest. I feel like we all work well together. I did see that they're undefeated, and you can see from their play, like, maybe it was just not as great a day, but you can see that they're pretty good too.
Okay, okay. So, Commentix, of course, it was your debut match, and you absolutely showed up. Was there anything in the breakfast that you ate this morning? Because you were on fire this game.
No, not anything special, you know, had a cup of coffee a few hours ago, that usually is a good, recipe for success for me, but besides that, no. It's very easy to play with Wolf, you know?
And my final question. So there in that final game in game three, it looks like the Penguins started to fight back a little bit. They scored, I think it was two goals there.
Mhm.
Were you guys worried at all, or was it no sweat?
Uh, I've played in leagues for a long time, so, you know, it's just kinda par for the course. You just kinda play it goal by goal and, you know, if they score, so be it. We gotta come back and get another one, or we're in the lead, like, just stall time and keep possession and win the game.
Well, that's all I got. Congrats again to you boys. Siprock, back to you.
I had a great time with this stream. We congrats to you guys. Congrats. I'm happy. I guess I can't say much more. I'm the GM. Of course I'm happy my team won. But that was lights out for the Griffins and the Penguins. They had to be filling that one, but maybe they can come back next week and show up. But that's been me and Debbie for game one. We have another game at 10 o'clock, Debbie. Me and you are gonna be casting that one as well, and that's going to be the Expert Dragons and Seagulls. So stay by for 10 p.m. EST, and we'll see you guys then.
Lot of blinded hearts could withstand cold. We were catching diamonds in the Thought another goal is all we needed. Taking second chances, still we bleed. And when all the love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in their line, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in their line. Future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry. It was bone dry.
breaks my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice tracing on my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me, but something about it makes us so. Baby, every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. Frozen in my dream, I can't escape the thoughts of you. If I try to leave, when I'm with you I can't move. It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me, but something about it makes us so. Baby, every piece keeps us together in the cold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold. I break you break me, holding our love in chains of gold.
Breathing underwater. Can't let you go now. Making it so hard. You got to know now. Ooh, taking it too far. Nothing to hold now. I'm falling apart. Out in the cold now. Breathing underwater. Breathing underwater now. I can't let go. Underwater.
ladies and gentlemen, we're back here again. I'm joined on the cast by Siprock for some expert league action. We have the Dragons going against the Seagulls. How are you feeling about this match tonight, Sip?
Definitely a little bit not informed on this matchup. I'm not gonna lie, Debbie. I've seen Drax play, and I know he's a very good player, but Jorgen, holy cow. I'm gonna call him Jorgen. I haven't seen him play at all. And then the Dragons team, Farting, and then KJ Storm. I haven't seen either one of those play either. So this should be a pretty interesting matchup.
Yeah, it looks like the Seagulls are sending their C lineup. Uh, I believe Drax is a lower sal than Reaper, if I'm not mistaken. But Drax is an up and comer. He was a lower salary about a season ago. Farting right now, on the other hand, for the Dragons, just promoted out of Adept. So we're seeing some up and comers here in this game, and I'm really excited about tonight's match.
Yeah, most definitely. It should be a good match. Hopefully, we get a little bit better match in this second game than we did that first series. That was fun to see the team show out, but hopefully this game gets a little bit closer, Debbie.
So I agree. And what do you say? Why don't we get these guys in here?
We're already running a little bit late. Let's get him in here. Let's get some Rocket League going, Debbie. I'm excited, man. I am excited to see some Rocket League.
Oh yeah, especially from the expert league. You know, this is my bread and butter. I'm excited to see some of these players play. I haven't seen Harding play since his adept days.
All right, dude, I'm in them adept days right now, and I feel his pain that he went through, that everybody went through, um, trying to get out of that champ, but you can't. And here we go in the game one. Drax already sporting the title of worst GC. We'll see how that proves. But Jorgen putting one in the back of the net, wasting no time, going up 1-0.
So yeah, it looks like he Drax gets the fake, which pulls KJ out of position and catches Farting just a little bit awkward and leaving KJ to try to force a save there, which he just couldn't reach.
Yeah, most definitely. That's just a beautiful fake from Drax, giving Jorgen the free open net. And let's be honest, that's the scariest thing, but that is the best thing that could have happened. We all know open nets are so hard to hit, but when you hit them, it feels so good because that fake really worked out. And it's definitely good to see them already playing a little bit risky, but it works out for them. And I don't think the Dragons were really expecting that edge. Drax almost gets the double tap, but it's a pass to Jorgen, and he's going to put it off the backboard as well. Farting, putting that one straight at Drax, giving them the ball, and Drax is going to go up for an air dribble with that, but not doing much with it. Jorgen with the follow-up puts that straight into KJ. KJ's going to go ahead and clear that into the backboard. Can he get a shot? No. It was a free open net, but did not get the shot. Jorgen popping at the Drax. Drax passes back. Team pinch, and Drax is going to keep that in the corner. And KJ cuts that off, taking that back up the sidewall, getting a clear back out in the mid, but Drax is giving him the demo and sets Jorgen up once again, and Jorgen buries that in the back of the net.
You know, that demo creating so much space here for Jorgen. Farting right now is just caught a little bit out of position, and Jorgen takes full advantage of that, beating him to the ball, putting the Dragons, or my bad, putting the Seagulls up 2-0 in this game one.
Yeah, it's got to feel good for the Seagulls, definitely. Going up 2-0 in a game like this already, not even half of the game gone right now, Debbie, and they're already up 2-0. The Dragons have to switch something up in this filler game, because we saw this in the last series with the Griffins and the Penguins. I can't even speak right now, Debbie. I'm excited. The Griffins getting an early lead in that first game and playing very aggressive like this Seagulls team is playing right now. So we'll see how the Dragons kind of tame it down and clean up gameplay as KJ's putting that one in the back of the net, saying they're still here to play. We have half this game left, Debbie. This is still a game.
Yeah, you know, it looks right there, you know, Drax just trying to get in the way of the Dragons right there, not give them any space, but instead he gets bumped out of the way. Poor Jorgen is, you know, caught out of position, can't make it back to the net. And sorry about that, the Dragons cut the deficit by 1.
Me too, Debbie. Me too, man. can't think straight today. We've been gone for 2 weeks. All right, my brain still has a little bit to catch up on. Is holy cow. KJ almost put a banger on that, but but Drag's proving his title wrong. He is indeed not the worst GC ever, and proving me wrong again. Drax just dribbling over the Dragons. That whiff came out from the defender from KJ, and the ball goes straight over him. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it looks like an unfortunate side flip right there coming out from KJ. You know, it looked like even Farding trusted him with that save, already turning away from the ball. But yeah, it happens. You know, it's only game one. No need to panic yet.
It shows you, everybody. Never trust your teammate no matter what. It's never a good idea.
It's always your teammate's fault. Never you.
Teammate's fault. If it's not your fault, never your fault, actually. It's teammate's fault. But yeah, definitely just a mishap on the defense. We're teaching
Oh,
them.
Drax.
Oh,
Oh, counterattack opportunity.
oh wow. Not even sure what happened there, Debbie. It just seemed like an overcommit by the Seagulls. KJ punishing him for that one.
Yeah, it looks like, you know, Drax going all in for the air dribble flip reset. Jorgen pulls up, you know, just a little bit overcommitting, and the Dragons just punish them for it. Open net.
Yeah, most definitely. That's gotta feel good for the Dragons. Showing they're still in this game. This game's nowhere near over. We have 2 minutes left, and both teams showing dominant. Definitely in their offenses, or well, not necessarily. The Seagulls showing dominance in their offense, but the Dragons showing dominance in their counterattack, showing that they know when to go for the ball when the Seagulls mess up and when they get a little too overconfident. But Drax and Jorgen's aerial game has been crazy. Drax is one of them players, and I knew this from the start before this game. He likes his aerial game, and that's what he goes for. That's what he strives in. That's what sets him apart from other players. Is he is so dominant in the aerial game. So definitely not a surprise to see him going for a lot of these aerials and beating players to the ball, being so quick. So the Dragons, I mean, I think they can get this goal to. I think they can get the goal to equalize, and they do. A demo coming out from KJ and putting that one in the back of the net.
Talk about explosive offense right here. Farding right now, taking control of the ball. KJ Storm says, I got you. Don't worry about it. You just got to bring it here. I'll take care of the goalie.
Here we go. 3-3 with 1:10 left to go in this game. And holy cow. How do I learn to hit that shot? That's top left perfectly. That hit the top bar and the side bar at the same time. There's no way anybody's saving that.
Top shelf right there from Farding right now. And you know, he's just showing off like how and why he got from adept to expert. And even in adept, he was the adept MVP. So you know, that was one thing that I was really looking forward to about this match, seeing two up and coming players with explosive prowess.
DW, I like casting with you. You're like a book of knowledge. You know everything, and it helps me out a lot. Honestly, I would have never knew he was new to the league. He's playing insane right now. I would have thought he's a veteran in the expert league, and he's playing like one right now, putting the ball over everybody and just scoring at will almost. So we'll see what the Seagulls do, because now for the first time they're down in this match and almost putting another one in. But we'll see a little bit of a counterattack by the Seagulls, putting that one straight into KJ, giving him a free clear in the midfield. Jorgen up to the ball, puts that into the sidewall, not really doing much, not taking their time with possession, as KJ puts one on net, and Drax gets the save. 5 seconds left to go. Somehow the Seagulls team need a miracle to bring this game out, and that's just not gonna happen. It's just not. Yeah, there we go, and the Dragons take that one. They take the first game in the series. That's not ideal for the Seagulls, because they were up this whole game, and the Dragons make one little push, and the Seagulls are off balance.
Yeah, and I think this was a good game one showing. It seems like at first it took the Dragons a little bit to get into this game. It seemed like they were trying to play a specific controlled game, and the Seagulls just weren't letting them do that. They started challenging fast. They were being aggressive, and then the Dragons said, "Hey, why don't we start doing that? And you know what? While we're at it, let's go for some bumps and demos." And it really worked in their favor. They were able to bring this game back and take the game one win.
Yeah, most definitely. KJ showed a very big physicality side of his offense. It almost seemed like he would fake going for the ball and then he'd just go for a demo. And what can you do if you're the Seagulls? Because it looks like he's just gonna boom the ball like they've been doing the whole game. And then he doesn't. He goes for a demo and gives Harding the free open net. I definitely would like to see them come out and do that again because the Seagulls didn't seem to have much of an answer for it. They kind of let them back in this game and didn't really say no. So, but the Seagulls, they have to somehow stop that physicality because that tore their defense apart and inevitably lost them that first game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game too and seeing how the Seagulls respond, see what changes they make. Like you said, get rid of that physicality. Maybe they do that by winning the boost battle, uh, and kind of bring it back, tie up the series in game two. Hopefully we get a game five out of the series.
Yeah, most definitely. I'd like to see a game, but dude, Debbie, we always want game fives, man. What are we talking about? The viewers can assume this by now. Casters always want the game five, and I will say, Debbie, I think we've gotten lucky. Normally, I'm the one that's like the players just bully me with Caster's curse, but so far it's not happened, man. I'm happy. I haven't cursed anybody today. I don't feel guilty. Um, Here we go in game two. Switch up the colors a little bit. So we can tell a little bit who's who. And holy cow, these games get started so quick, and Drax is already putting one in the back of the net. It seemed like just a mishap on the defense from the Dragons, and the Seagulls. They're taking every chance that this Dragon team gives them.
Oh, absolutely. You have to, especially with the way that the Dragons came back in that first game one. You want to take every single goal that you can. And already in an awkward spot here, Farting right now was able to make the clear. KJ Storm sending it up. Farting right now going for a potential shot. A little bit of a double commit, but the Seagulls do get the ball cleared. Oh,
Oh. No casting. We're gonna do an ASMR. Ooh. Oh my! Imagine that's what casting turns into. Oh, that would not be fun.
there's active sound effects.
Let's get a soundboard in here, Debbie. No,
Who needs crowd
That's
volume when
bad.
you have casters?
exactly. Who needs that? Man? Who needs a crowd volume? No, we have casters here to give you an ASMR, but I've definitely noticed in this series the Seagulls seem to come out in the early goings and just they come out burning hot. They come out like an asteroid out of outer space, and they light it up in the beginnings of the game. But on that last game, their ending to the game was kind of weak. So we'll see what they do. We're not even halfway through this game, so we'll get back to that in a little bit because I want to see how they end off this game. Last game it was kind of weak how they ended it off. They came out hot and ended off weak, so we'll see if that's a repetition thing. But right now, both teams kind of even it out right here, Debbie. I don't really know what either team can do. You're the expert. What do these teams do to kind of get us a foot forward in front of the other?
Oh. So, sorry about that. Distracted by the game a little bit.
ASMR.
So, it looks like there really is a struggle for possession right now, and we could see an opportunity here with both Dragon players being a bit awkward. Jorgen Bonstringle looks to kind of cover the more defensive option in case Drax isn't able to make a play. But if you're the Seagulls and you wanna come out from this game with a win, you can't give up goals like that. Oh, an unfortunate double commit right there. And for me right now, it kind of seems like Drax is trying to play that higher salary role. He's trying to get a lot of time on the ball and make those plays. But it seems like the Dragons are expecting that, and at this point, they're simply waiting for Drax to finish his time on the ball and then try to take advantage of Jorgen being by himself. And that's where we saw some of those demo plays come out in game one. So I think that if you're the Seagulls, you want to try to go for a little bit more team plays. Try to get Jorgen a little bit more involved. It seems like he's finding himself on the defensive half a lot, trying to clear the ball out and then make sure that Drax has time. And it
Holy
looks
And Jorgen, as you said, he needs to get a little bit more into this game. Drax giving him the perfect shot, getting the demo, and that's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see a little bit more physicality from the Seagulls team because KJ, I mean, he was kind of taking over the demos, but to see Drax jump out in front and say, you know what, I'm gonna set my teammate up. I'm gonna give him the easiest shot of his life, and him, lucky for him, Jorgen knows how to hit an open net, and they put one in. They're up in this game right now with a little double commit. It's not what you want to see after a goal like that, but definitely has to feel good for them to be up one in this game. We only have a minute and 45 seconds left to go. So this Dragons team, and we know they can do it, but we'll see how they come back in this game. And oh, Jorgen just whiffing a little bit, not having just that little bit, that split second to think, and he just does not use it to his advantage.
Yeah, unfortunately, he just kills all his momentum, and what that does is it just redirects the ball instead of being able to send it out like how he wanted, and that's unfortunate to see from the Seagulls. But you know, you were up in the game, you guys were playing, you guys were doing your thing. I wouldn't let this I wouldn't take this too hard from the Seagulls.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like the Seagulls are kind of proving to be the dominant team when it comes to getting that first goal, that lead goal that they need to hold off on, but and almost showing it there. Holy cow, Jorgen! But it seems like they're the dominant team at getting that first goal, that leading goal, and then the Dragons. They seem like they're that team that comes back from anything. You knock them down. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It matters how many times you get back up, and how long it takes you to quit getting back up. But it seems like, and as I say it, Drax puts one in the back of the net. They seem to be that team that gets off in that early lead. But we'll see, because as I was saying, that Dragons team is the team to come back and somehow clutch up a game. So the rest of this 50 seconds, this could be series changing.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. It seems like, oh, a kickoff goal. There it is.
Oh.
Wow, and the Seagulls just made this 10 times tougher on the Dragons right here.
Yeah, definitely. I thought Jorgen was going to get that double on the first one, and then when he didn't, I was like, oh no, they just messed it up. If the Dragons come back, that's going to hurt because they're down one in this series right now. But that's got to feel good for Drax to be there for his teammate and clean up his mistake and put them up 2 in this game. Right now, they only have 35 seconds left to come back, and the Seagulls have to be feeling good with a two-goal lead on this Dragons team. We both know. I mean, this game could have went anywhere with that one goal deficit. And right now, it seems a little bit more. The Dragons' offense seems a little bit more isolated, and it seems like they're kind of stopping a little bit, feeling a little bit defeated maybe because they're playing a lot more defense in those last 5 seconds right there. But Jorgen just putting this game away. We already kind of knew that the Dragons. It would have been hard for them to come back with that 2-goal deficit, but 9 seconds, 3 goals, Debbie, I did not see it happening.
Yeah, and you know, at that point, I don't blame the Dragons. They needed to score if they wanted to get back into this game, and the Seagulls had all of the offensive pressure, kind of just wasting all the time. The Dragons had to do something, and you know, they eventually just get caught out. And looks like the Seagulls are going to be taking this game too, maybe trying to keep it up for some stat padding.
There,
All right, there it goes.
1-1 in the series, Debbie. I'm not really sure how this series is gonna go. We said it was gonna be close, and I do agree, but it seemed like the Dragons kind of came out with the same game style that they had in that first game. And as we say, that first game's a filler. The Seagulls kind of feeling out that hey, they're not gonna change anything. They're not gonna switch anything to throw our minds around. And the Seagulls had that whole game to kind of get used to the Dragons game style. The first game as well, and it showed they got used to it because they're up 3 or they're up the 5-2. Sorry, they're up by 3 goals. That's what I was trying to say. They're up by 3 goals at the end of this match. So the Seagulls definitely figuring out this Dragons team and showing that they picked up pretty quick. So now we have an even series, Debbie. What do you think that the Dragons have to do to bring this back in their favor?
Oh, let's see. So it looks like now Drax, instead of trying to force those force like a one man show, he really, you know, fell back into kind of like a team role, trying to make more space for Jorgen and really playing as a team. So I would say if you can get rid of that element, kind of boost starve them a little bit, force them to be alone, force the Seagulls to be alone, and you can come up with those same bump plays that you had in game one, that you can take this game away from the Seagulls.
Y'all heard it from the man himself. Force them to be lonely to the point where they can't play Rocket League. Um, that's that's a twisted way to put it. But yeah, I do agree. Definitely, if you take that team play away from Drax and Jorgen, it did seem like Drax was using Jorgen as that second man. It seemed like he was setting him up a lot more because in that first game, Drax was kind of just going off on his own little aerial plays, which did work, but not how they wanted it to, and it didn't end up getting them the win. So we'll see how they do in this game three as we go to the kickoff. Kind of a stale kickoff, but KJ taking that one, airling that into the corner, getting an okay 50, kind of just stalling out in front of net. But Drax getting a clear and a pass up to Jorgen, almost gets the double, but pushes that right back out to Drax, and we'll see what he can do with the solo play, but he's just not going to go for it. A little bit low on boost. He had about 24 boost there. He's just going to recover and let his teammate challenge KJ. They get a pretty good challenge, but I don't think it's exactly what they wanted as it goes back into their half. Straight into Drax, though. It seems like they're trying to play the slow game, but then they're just giving the ball away, Debbie. So I'm not really sure where that's coming from. Maybe it's a comms issue. Maybe they're just getting a little bit of jitters since it's such a close series. What do you think each team does in this game? Because we know how they've been playing. We know the Dragons have been that comeback team, and we know the Drax. We know the Draxes. We know the Seagulls have been that kind of started off, lighted up kind of team. Get the bonfire going. So what do you think both teams do? Besides
yes.
like that.
So I think right there would have been a perfect moment had KJ Storm just gone for the demo. Drax was sitting there alone. Farding had control of the ball. If KJ Storm eliminates that defender, Farding has an easy goal all day, every day. And that goes back to what I was talking about earlier. You know, isolate these players and force them into awkward positions. Steal the boost. Make sure that you can score. Don't just wait for an opportunity. Create it. And I think controlling the ball would be a better way to create those opportunities, because it looks like so far the Dragons have controlled the ball for a majority of the time, having a lot of offensive pressure, but they did get counterattacked. So I'm hoping that they can apologies, I'm getting distracted by the game, but I'm hoping they can make those adjustments and come out with a victory so that we can have a longer series on our hands.
Dude, if we don't get a long series, I'm actually gonna cry in my sleep, Debbie. I'm gonna have nightmares about this series not giving us a game 5. Yes, I mean that literally. I will make sure, like, I will have nightmares, Debbie, if we don't go to a game 5. So if we can wrinkle it or something. And holy cow, as an insane shot from KJ. I'm getting sidetracked. I talk too much, Debbie. KJ putting that in the back of the net right over Jorgen, and that's just a beautiful shot from KJ. It's a beautiful play by him, and kind of just picking the Seagulls apart. They overcommitted a little bit in the first running, and not able to recover. And KJ's gonna have that one for lunch, or breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, and right now, on that last goal, it kind of looked like the Seagulls got. Oh, they overcommitted a little bit, and they were able to get counterattacked. And I thought that was some good communication between on the Dragons half, because it looked like Farding right now went for like that second touch, and then he backflips to make sure that KJ can put that goal away. And
oh no. That's not gonna feel good for the Seagulls. This is already a close game, and just for that goal to not go in, for it to hit that side post and kind of just taunt them on the way out of the net, not in the net, on the way out of the net. It's not gonna feel good, but I'm sure the Seagulls are definitely enjoying that one. Glad that didn't go in, because that'd be, I believe it'd be the first time been down other than that last game in this game, and they're down. KJ is popping off in this game right now, Debbie. He's showing how dominant he is. He can play the physical side, he can play the team side, but also the solo side. He puts that, I mean, literally right around the defender and straight in the back of the net. What do you do if you're the Seagulls? I don't really know.
Oh man, if you're the Seagulls, I think you. Oh, they've had offensive chances. They just need to close out, and Jorgen Von Strangle does just that. Closes up and out on an opportunity and keeps us tied up in this game 3 right here. So
Yeah, and I almost lied to everybody. I was gonna say what they do is they wish that goal went in. And Jorgen shut me up before I even said anything. He put that straight in the back of the net, and holy cow! If that would have went in, I would have flipped out, Debbie. That would have been the nastiest shot of this series by far. Even of this stream, that would have been the nastiest shot. That's gotta almost suck for the Seagulls though, because that ball does not go in, and Drax has shown that he can hit those shots, but putting that one a little bit too high off the crossbar is got a little bit of a weird touch. I've noticed that though, these teams are playing a little bit weird almost. Not definitely not the team games that we're used to seeing them play. It seems like they're going for a little bit more of a solo play at this point, as KJ gets a little bumped, but definitely gonna look for them to start getting back into that grind. And holy cow, Drax puts that past both defenders. What a shot!
yeah, it looks like he saves his flip all the way into the last second. Farting gets probably not the touch that he wants, which leaves KJ Storm in a bad position, and Drax, even though he had a little bit of boost, was able to take full advantage. And
Oh no!
no way. Okay.
Oh, if that would have went in, Debbie, if that would have went in, only the Dragons would have been praising everything they love. But the Seagulls getting a clear out into the blue side, Farting trying to take control off the backboard. Nobody really challenging him, nobody trying to get the quick little dish that they weren't expecting. But 13 seconds left, and Jorgen puts in another shot, puts in another goal, and that's a 2-goal lead for them. It's looking pretty. The chances of the Dragons winning right now is pretty slim in this game at least. But wow, what a shot! What a display of offense from the Seagulls team.
Yeah, and that was such a smart play by Jorgen. He sees Farting right now going for like an air dribble clear out, which Drax has already covered, and he says, you know what if I just take out the goalie? He does, and Drax is able to win the 50 and get a free center for Jorgen to come around and finish off.
Yeah, most definitely, and that's it for this game, Debbie. It's 2-1 in the series. The Seagulls took that one, so it's almost like the Dragons aren't playing as much as a team. KJ definitely showing dominance. He has those 2 goals, but him and Farting weren't really playing much of a team game. Yeah, Farting had the 1 assist, but it just seems like if they were to pass a little bit more, pass around the Seagulls team, maybe a little bit more ground plays. That's where the KJ goals came in at. Both of the goals were on ground, and in my opinion, against this expert Seagulls team, against a player like Drax, and even Jorgen showing a little bit of aerial dominance. You do not want to take the aerial game with them. You choose the ground game when you go against somebody like this, because I mean, you don't. That's like saying if you were a boxer and I was a kickboxer, I wouldn't take you into a boxing match. You don't want to take them into the air where they're familiar with it and where they dominate. You want to move around them on the ground. So we'll see how the Dragons take that advice if they're listening. Fingers crossed they are, because Debbie, if they were listening to us, it would have been a 3-0 sweep.
This is why I like casting with you, Sip. You're so good at analyzing. You shouldn't be an adept.
Confidence. Confidence. If you don't have confidence in yourself, what do you have? Okay, if they were to listen to me, this would be a totally different series. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But there we go. I mean, that's game 3 in the books. We'll see if the Seagulls can close this one out and put the Dragons away while they have a chance. Because I'm telling you, if they give this Dragons team a chance, and this Dragons team switch up their game plan and smarten up and actually go for high percentage shots, then they could have this game. But Drax getting the lucky kickoff goal, and Jorgen rubbing that in a little bit. Demo and KJ for even letting that one go in.
That's unfortunate if you're the Dragons right there, man. And I saw kind of a shift in that last game. You know, the Dragons came out kind of hot, and then it seemed like the Seagulls just went and matched that energy. They started getting even more aggressive instead of waiting for mistakes. You know, they were kind of forcing them and then making them awkward, and just taking full advantage of that. And I wonder if they're gonna come out with the same game plan, or if maybe the Seagulls or the Dragons come out with their own game plan.
Oh, and a double commit coming out from the Seagulls defensing party. What can you do? If somebody gives you that open net, you bury that in the back of net, tie it up with 30 seconds to go. That's gotta feel good for the Dragons. I mean, they're down one goal, or not one goal in this series. They're down one game in this series. So they definitely have to show up lights out for this. Their offense has to be stellar, and so does their defense. So we'll see how they go in this game, because right now, I mean, it's tied game, and we still have this whole game to go, Debbie. We've only been through 40 seconds, and it feels like 40 minutes almost, because both of these teams it seems like they're both coming out, and neither one of them wants to give in. The Seagulls, they want to take this game in 4 games, but the Dragons, they want to send this to game 5 and have a better chance of getting to the series. Neither team wants to give in. Neither team wants to lose. Everybody wants to add that win to their record, but only one team can win, Debbie, and we'll see which one comes out in this game. Right now, it's close.
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of boomer ball being played. Oh, there's nobody in the Dragons net. Farting able to come back just in the nick of time. Oh, no way. Okay. For a second there, I thought it was gonna curve down.
He wishes that curved down. That would have been nutty if that curved down, Debbie. I believe that was. I'm not really sure. I believe I saw a Mustang. And oh no.
Drax is gonna wish he had that shot back.
Oh, maybe you do give Drax the aerial. He's not seeming to put the goals in right now. It seems like the crossbar is his favorite place to put that ball. No, you don't give Drax, no matter what, you don't give Drax aerial. I lied. But definitely gotta hurt for the Seagulls, because they had a chance to shift momentum back in their hands or in their ways. So the Dragons, I'm sure they're thanking Drax for hitting that crossbar. They're thinking that crossbar, praising that thing more than anything right now, because that saved them from that 1-goal deficit. But 2 minutes and 35 seconds, I've noticed that the Seagulls have kind of been struggling to get that goal. They've had the chances, and we've seen that. I mean, Drax hitting that crossbar, and even a few more chances that they may have had to put in that winning goal, not the winning goal, but the goal to give them the lead. That's the word. That's the sentence I was looking for. What do you think the Seagulls do to put that goal in and kind of stop the Dragons team from gaining the momentum they need?
Well, I think both teams need to stop playing this ping pong back and forth. It seems like they're both struggling for full-on possession and like maintain some offensive pressure. But if one of these teams can take control of the ball and make a play, then I think that'll do wonders. We're seeing a lot of this boomer ball going on right now. A struggle for mid field possession and control. And it's oh no. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, Debbie. I thought that was a redirect from the Seagulls, and I was gonna say that was a good pass, but no, that was that was Farting who did that. That's not good, and the Seagulls taking control of that, and Jorgen putting that in the back of the net. And I was gonna mention, but Caster's curse is going over my head, and nobody knows it. I was gonna say that the Dragons have to be thanking that post, because Jorgen hit the post again after Drax did. But you can't really say much anymore, because Jorgen proved himself, or he proved me wrong without me even saying anything. He put that goal back in, and that's the goal they needed to lead in this game. And hopefully the Dragons can somehow pull a goal off against this defense. But right now, Debbie, this Seagulls team is a brick wall, and Caster's okay. Oh no, I'm sorry, Seagulls. I cursed you guys. What a shot.
And that's just unfortunate from the Seagulls. Jorgen trying to get probably looking for a pinch to center out to Drax, just doesn't make contact, and that's all she wrote. Dragons take full advantage.
Yeah, that's pain. That's pain for the Seagulls because you know you're up with a minute left. A minute does not seem like a lot of time when you're winning, and I will admit that. And the Seagulls shutting me up very quickly and putting that one in the back of the net, showing how quick their offense can score. Their offense is so brutal and so volatile that it can score at any second. They just have to click a button and it goes in. Definitely has to feel good with 40 seconds, but as I was saying, a minute does not feel like a lot when you're up. So we'll see how they handle this because there's only 35 seconds for this Dragons team to score, but we've seen how quick they can score, and right now they're getting a little bit of offense going, and I like to see that. I want to see this go to Game 5, but the Dragons have to step it up a whole nother level if they want to come back.
And they have possession right now. Let's see what they do with the ball. Drax with a big clear right here. KJ's gonna take control. Let's see what he does with that. Jorgen waiting in tow. Gets the 50. Drax with a shot. It's off. Jorgen takes the ball away. Farting with the boom. This is the Dragons' last chance right here. Farting keeps it up. We got 0 seconds. KJ with a shot. Oh my. The Dragons tie it up with 0 seconds left. We're headed to overtime right here in game 4? Yeah, game 4.
Game 4 overtime. Jorgen, if he hadn't have touched that ball would have fell, and the Seagulls would have had this game. Maybe they still do get this game, but that's gotta not feel good. That's gotta hurt, Debbie. I mean, how can you feel good after giving that up? That 0 second goal, that's never good to give up. The Dragons, they have to be motivated. I mean, they just pulled something out of their back pocket, and we'll see what they do with it in this overtime. But right now, this is such a close matchup, and the series sort of shows it. I mean, it's only a 2-1 series, so it's either the Seagulls take it or we go to a Game 5. But this matchup is so close. Both teams are so equal to each other. It's kind of crazy. What are your thoughts in this overtime, Debbie? This is great.
Right now, other than that kickoff moment, it seems like, maybe Drax is playing a little bit more defensive, just waiting. I'm sure he doesn't want to give this game away and go into Game 5, but I still like that energy that Jorgen is bringing out. He's still going for bumps. He's getting boost steals. He's being aggressive, and I don't think that's ever a bad thing. And I think it's helped to lead the Seagulls to some of these goals and games that they've won.
Yeah, definitely. I believe Jorgen is the lower Sal on the Seagulls team, but he's definitely showing out, and that's been a kind of a common theme for this stream tonight, as well as the one earlier, as well as the game earlier, the series earlier. Definitely showing a lot of the newer players to this expert league, showing that they're still stepping up. I mean, Jorgen has played a phenomenal series so far, and he's kind of taken over Drax's spot, and Drax is taking over his spot. So switching roles, and I think Jorgen does play the kind of chase game style a little bit better than Drax, because Drax is a more mechanical player, but Jorgen, he just rushes the ball, and what can you do if you're the Dragons? You don't expect it, and he gets exactly what what Drax wants him to do. And I mean, Drax doesn't really have to do much right now because there's not really any balls coming towards their net. And as I say it, what a demo by KJ taking Drax out of the play. But definitely in this overtime, I think both teams are a little bit nervous, so they're kind of booming it back and forth and not really wanting to give the other team a chance to even put it to their corner.
Yeah, it seems like Drax is almost content with just letting Jorgen go out there and do his thing, which, it's not necessarily, but he's been creating a lot of opportunities here, forcing the forcing the Dragons to kind of scramble on defense. Oh, it looks like Farting had a chance there. He kind of hit it a little bit high there, but it's gonna lead to a Dragons offensive possession. Oh,
And the Seagulls, how do you feel? Ooh,
that's
this series would have been over, Debbie. This series should have been over, but it's not. And the Dragons coming back and showing that they're that comeback team. I've said it from the beginning of the series, and I stand by what I said. The Seagulls get off to an early lead, and they throw it in the final minutes of the game. And the Dragons are just that team that is somehow able to come from it. It does not make sense logically, but it still somehow happens. And the crazy games we get on FDL, I did not expect that.
yeah, that what a showing from the Dragons to stay resilient, score with 0 seconds to force the overtime, and then manage to come away with the victory and force a game 5. Y- if you're the Dragons, you're absolutely thrilled. But if you're the Seagulls, what do you say what kind of changes do you think they make here going into game 5?
I, I like the way they had Jorgen going for a lot of the chaser plays or giving the Dragons a little bit less room. But Drax kind of eliminated himself from that team play. He almost eliminated himself from that game from staying back a little bit too far. So I think if he gets a little bit more aggressive, plays the game he's been playing, but substitute Jorgen into that game style, still play a team game, not just have one person up going for the ball. I think that's how they win this because they've showed their speed is unmatchable. Drax in the air is absolutely insane. He goes 100 mile an hour in the air every aerial. He's never went for a slow aerial. I swear I wish I could aerial as quick as him. They need to use that to their advantage. Keep the ball in the air because when they give the Dragons team the ground game, or when they leave one person too defensive and one too aggressive, it doesn't work out for them. And in that last game, it shows. It winds up losing them the game.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the Seagulls necessarily played badly, or like they didn't play badly. They forced an overtime, and they had the lead. They could have won that game. So I think it was the change in gameplay in overtime, Drax being a little bit too defensive, and that kind of led to that awkward miss where he was just sitting there, no momentum or anything. And I think Drax plays at his best when he is going fast and forcing that pressure against the Dragons.
Yeah, most definitely. And I can't even imagine how much pressure is on both of these teams. For the Seagulls, they had that game in that last game in their hands. This series should be over, but they let the Dragons stick their wings right back into that door. Don't stick your wings indoors, but you know what I mean. They let them get that foot back in the door and back into this series, which shouldn't have been a thing. But the Dragons pulling it off. Props to them. Um, but the pressure on them because they have to somehow round off this series and take it back. But the Dragons, they've won that game that they desperately needed, almost losing that last game, but they got back into it. So we'll see how they go in this game because I mean, you did all that work, you didn't do it for anything. So I mean, for them, it's a must win. And same for the Seagulls. So I think we're going to see a lot of close matchups in this game. And I cannot wait to see how close this matchup gets.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised we're going. Oh, wow. I was about to say we were seeing some of this ping pong gameplay, and I wanted to see more of that fast gameplay, but right there looks like KJ just misses the ball a little bit, and Drax takes full advantage.
Yeah, most definitely. And the Seagulls just showing what kind of a team they are. I mean, they always get off to that early start. They always, I mean, it's showed in every game. They've always been the first team to score, I believe. I think. Maybe one game that the Dragons scored first, but, we don't talk about it. It's not like anybody's keeping up, except you, the Book of Knowledge. But, or it appears to be. And what a demo by KJ. Definitely looking for a little bit more physicality out of him because that showed that proved to help them out a lot. But definitely definitely good for the Seagulls to get that early goal and start off the game off. They just need to get it through the rest of the game without letting this Dragons score because every time they've let them back into the game, the Dragons have upset them.
Yeah, I agree. They can't give this Dragon team any momentum. Because they've proven time and time again that if you give them a little bit, they'll take a lot. Wow. With farting right there, shooting an absolute scorcher. Drax, you know, thankfully there in the spot to make a save.
Yeah, definitely. I know how Drax is feeling right now. He jumped. You can tell he panicked, jumped, and hoped and prayed that ball went into his car and out of the net. And it did. He got lucky with that one. Party put on an amazing shot. Honestly, just did not get the placement he needed. And I'll be honest, and Debbie, I think you can agree. This rank is all about ball placement. If you don't have ball placement, you don't have a goal because the defensive aspect of this game is so intense. Nobody ever lets goals go in for free. Now, I know when you get into the champ lobby, there's no telling what goal goes in. I mean, you could hit a flip reset and then it not go in, and then, I mean, hit the ball 2 mile an hour and it go in. But in this gameplay, I believe this is GC1, if I'm correct, Debbie?
It's Champ 3 to about GC, I think the start of GC2.
There you go. See, I can't play in Champ 3, so it makes sense. But definitely the defensive is crazy. So if you don't have ball placement, you don't have a goal. So it seems like the Dragons, they're not really putting the ball in optimal spots. They need to take the higher percentage shot more often because, I mean, if not, I mean, they only have 1:45. This game went by very quickly. I honestly thought there were still 30 minutes left. I'm not gonna lie, Debbie. Maybe that's just me being a little bit slow today, but they have to pick something up in this game because the Seagulls aren't just gonna let them have it.
Oh man, and they've had plenty of opportunities. They just haven't been able to, you know, get a clean finish right there. Oh, that has to hurt. Jordan just outpacing KJ, Barding isn't able to get back in time. That's gotta hurt if you're the Dragons. But there's still plenty of time. You got 1:22. It's only a 2-goal deficit. If you score now, you have plenty of time to get that tying goal and possibly a leading goal. So, if
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry.
It's all good. I was gonna say, if I'm the Dragons, I would start going for a couple of fakes, a couple fake challenges, a couple, you know, straight up fakes. You know, it looks like Jorgen has continued to play that disruptor role, and wow,
Holy cow, dude! The Seagulls are just lights out now. They listened to my advice. They started off pretty well. They got that early goal, and then they've been lights out the whole game. What do you do if you're the Dragons? Who freaking knows, dude? The Seagulls team is so volatile, so dangerous to go up against. You give them a little bit and they take a mile. You give them even the slightest bit of a centimeter and they take the whole field from you. But I'm not gonna say anything about who's taking this series. We've seen the Dragons do some stupid, crazy things. I mean, who knows? We might see the Dragons score 7 goals in this last 30 seconds. It's not probable, but we've seen them do crazy stuff before. I'm not putting anything past them.
damn it, that was a missed opportunity right there, unfortunately. And realistically, the Seagulls just have to play keep away. What a pinch! Like Drax just coming in here, just pinches it off Jorgen and farting, and it goes straight into the net.
They either play a game of keep away or Houdini in the back of the net, I guess. And the Dragons, they fell apart this game, and it was kind of do or die for them, as well as the Seagulls. I mean, they gave up that last game, and I think they had it in their heads as Drax just puts one in just for insurance, just to pad the stats, because he knows they have the game. But it almost seems like it was a do or die, and they knew they had to win this game, and they weren't going to go out of this game without a win. And I don't think the Dragons really expected them to put up this big of a fight. I sure as heck don't think they expected them to put up these big of numbers. I mean, 5 goals and what? They scored 3 of those in about 30 seconds. That's crazy to me. And KJ's gonna put one in just for a feels good man. At least put one on the board for your stats going out of this game. But what do you think the Seagulls did in this game that changed the outcome so drastically?
I think they just kept up what they did in the previous game, just let Jorgen go crazy on Disruptor, and Drax was just always there to continue to apply that constant offensive pressure and to just wore the Dragons down. It seemed like they were scrambling a lot on defense, just awkward, and the Seagulls were just able to take full advantage of that.
Yeah, most definitely. I can agree with that. Seagulls definitely played their cards perfectly this matchup, and you can't fault them for it. I mean, they played a great game in this series, and that's just good Rocket League from them. Um, we do not have enough time for a post-game interview because we are nearing that time for our Series 3. Oh my God, we're close to that mark. Playing a little bit risky here. No, but anyways, I mean, I've been Cyprock, I should be back in 5 minutes. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I get to finish out the night strong. But Debbie, dude, it's been a pleasure casting with you. We cast the past 2 series. It's been a great night.
Always a pleasure for me.
Let's go, dude. Feels good, man. Let me check really quick so I can give you guys the good news. At 11 p.m. EST in exactly 5 minutes, we have the Expert Monkeys versus the Colts. I have been Cyprock, and he's been Debbie. See you guys then. to another series. We're gonna have the expert Monkeys and Colts. This is gonna be a good match. I'm Cyprek once again. Hello, everybody. You guys may recognize me from earlier. And joined with me is Ken. What's up, man?
Nothing much. Excited for this series. Monkeys, Colts, two of the better teams so far in expert record wise. I think it'll be a pretty good series. Right off the bat, predictions.
Oh, putting me on the spot. Oh no. Um, so I will say I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the Monkeys because I'm not really sure how Frank plays, but I have seen Jaquito play before, and I would be scared right now if I were the Colts going up against him.
I would have to agree with you. I think Jaquittal could definitely do a lot this series. I don't know a ton about the Colts players, but we'll get them into the game and we'll see what the pitch has to say.
Let's go, kid. Let's go. Okay, listen, this is going to be a great matchup. This is the final series of the night. This is going to be a hype game, and if it isn't, I'm not going to be excited.
Well, I hope it's hype. You got Redwater and
Fingers are
Jaquittal.
crossed.
Yep. We'll see what happens. Give a neutral kickoff there. And the Monkeys will try and collect this in their half. And things will slow down to start off.
Yeah, not really a quick start for any team. It's definitely a weird start. I don't like the kickoffs in expert because it seems they always start off slow. And
Shot for Strider. Yep, that'll go.
oh, what a shot! Just puts that right off the post and straight in the back of the net. That's a good start for him. As I believe he's lowest down in this lobby, but proven to be a big competitor. Sorry, I had to figure out my words there. I had to figure out what I was trying to say, and I was trying to say them before I knew what I was trying to say. But I mean, definitely him being a low sal, that's gotta feel good for them. I mean, getting that early goal. What do they have to worry about? An open net, maybe? No. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, they might have to worry about the Monkeys here, but to confirm, yeah, Strider is the lowest salary in the lobby at 13. 14, Frank, 13-1. Good cut from Strider there to maintain possession for the Colts. As Jaquittal will take it off the wall, back into the corner from Redwater, and we'll try and get a passing play. That's just muscled into the middle by Redwater. Frank does a good job to clear it out. Back into the Colts corner, pass from Frank, cut off pretty well in the back from Redwater. And Jaquittal will take this, try and corral it, pass Redwater, and Monkeys might have an opportunity here, but shut down pretty well from Strider. And Jaquittal will collect on the goal line again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'd like to take my words back. I'd like to vote for this Colts team. It seems like, I don't listen to myself sometimes. Again, I told myself I would never go off paper again because paper is always wrong. I should have known it. I was thinking C lineup versus A lineup. This Colts team, there's no way that they were gonna do well against this Monkeys team. I take it back. This Colts team, Strider's proving to be pretty cracked in the caster's curse, man. Whoever I choose loses. I'm unlucky, man. I'm just unlucky today.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Jaquittal there for the save, setting up Frank with that pass, but I mean, Jaquittle's in a rough spot, having to jump backwards into that ball just to make contact and stop the shot, and Frank capitalized pretty well. And there's a shot on, Redwater will save it. I'm sticking with the Monkeys, even when, as you said, I was not entirely convinced Redwater would shoot this. Good save from Monkeys. Good team defense there, maybe a really good double commit, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Monkeys so far. I think Frank had a pretty good start. Good shot from him too. Good way best Strider. Back for another shot. A little nice touch. Not quite go in. The post says no. But unrelenting pressure here from the Monkeys in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, and the post will never be your best friend in this game. I think we've all had our moments with that post. With that post, we never like the post. I mean, unless it's making saves for us, and I'm sure the Colts are thinking that post, but the Monkeys, they had the chance to take the lead. And I'm not gonna say who's gonna win. I want this to be a fair matchup and not. I don't want to curse any teams, but definitely what we said. I mean, Jaquitl is a solid player, and looking to see Frank play around maybe them just as a team is cracked. We're not sure yet. We're still in the first game here again, so not really seeing anybody show off too much, but definitely later in the series we'll start to see that. But right now it's a pretty even matchup. I mean, there's a minute and 40 seconds left, and we're 1-1 right now. So we'll see which team switches it up a little bit, goes out of their comfort zone in game 1. Sorry about that, and see which one takes that risk and maybe gets the reward. But there's also that chance that it all goes wrong if you take that risk. So we'll see who's willing to get out of their comfort zone and go for different stuff.
What a pinch from Redwater. That'll buy the Colts some time. I'm going to decide. I could take this. And I'm loving the demos I'm seeing in the Colts. There have been quite a few so far. They put the Monkeys in a really awkward spot. Jaquitl barely going to make that clear. Minute left. 1-1. Shot on from Jaquitl. Despite will have another touch. Put to the side. And more demos, this time from the Monkeys. And there have been a lot of demos so far this game. It's been pretty fast-paced movement from both teams. Awkward touch from Jaquitl. He gets punished for that. Strider, perfect spot to put that one in the right corner.
Yeah, that almost looked coordinated, kid. I think they planned that before the game. Maybe to spice things up. Nah, I'm just joking. I'd hope Jaquitl didn't mean that, but yeah, just the unfortunate ball. I mean, what can you do? You can try to put that off to the left and try to beat Frank to that ball, but I mean, what can you do? You either choose one or the other. You let Frank pass it to Jaquitl, or you do it yourself. I guess you just hope Jaquitl doesn't put that bottom right and he somehow hits post, but nothing much you can do there. That's a beautiful shot from Strider. What can you do about Redwater? The Colts showing up in the last few minutes of this game, or really the last minute of this game, showing up and proving they're a dominant team.
And it's been good from them so far. They have 15 seconds left as we go on to the next kickoff. And I'd say there have been some encouraging signs for the Colts, for sure. Ball's going to drift to the corner. 10 seconds left. That should be the end of it. Playing for the clear downfield, but no shooting threat here. And one thing I will say is it feels like the Colts at times got perhaps a little lucky in terms of they got some really good pinches. I won't say that's luck, but it's not something you can really count on a lot of the time, because those pinches relieve so much pressure for them that it can be hard sometimes to gauge how repeatable that is, really.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely they got a few. Lucky's not the word, but I don't know the word for it. Almost, I can't even think of English.
Words are very hard sometimes.
Dude, words tonight have been really hard. Just please don't watch this back. But definitely got those really good pinches out into their side, and that did relieve a lot of stress. And I think it kind of surprised the Monkeys, because you don't expect people to be that good at pinches. I mean, yes, people do get good at them. People learn how to hit them more consistently, and maybe that's what we're seeing with the Colts. Maybe they learn that that's how they get the stress off, is just surprising the other team with a pinch, and that gives them time to go get boost or set up a rotation to set them up for that next goal that they need. But that I do agree with that, Ken, fully. They did get a few pinches that relieved stress, exactly what they needed to get reset and come back into this game and go up 2 goals. And what can you do if you're the Monkeys? Not much, because you don't expect people to be that good at pinches. And I mean, it showed. The Colts weren't, the Monkeys weren't expecting it, and the Colts take game 1.
Definitely. I mean, Colts up a game. If you're the Monkeys, I'm not that worried about that game. I think you can keep playing your style. There's Jaquitl with a shot off kickoff. It'll hit the post, and missed opportunity there for the Monkeys, but I mean, good pressure. Frank got a shot, but Strider does a good job to cut in and take control of it. Colts going to drift downfield. Put it over the shot, that'll go over. And again, if you're the Monkeys, yeah, you lost, but there wasn't any glaring weakness, I would say, that you're really worried about for the rest of the series. It was, you really just got beat straight up. Maybe a little bit of help for them. Good bump from Redwater, will buy some time for Strider with fake. And he'll try and dribble, but Frank will cut him off.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Ken. I like Strider as a player. He's low as Sal, but as a low Sal, he's actually very good. And I do like that fake play. Kind of put the monkeys on their toes and make them think twice about going for a 50 or going for a challenge. Because let's be honest, Ken, nobody ever wants to get faked. You get faked once, you do not want that to happen again, especially on stream. You don't want to get faked, and I think everybody can agree to that. So it makes you think. It makes you think twice about going for the ball, because are they going to fake again? Are they just going to break your axles into 20 pieces? Or are they actually going to go for the challenge and then you miss out on it anyways? So it's definitely a mental game with that. And I like the way the Colts are playing, but the monkeys are matching them right now. They're matching them out at midfield, taking them early challenges. Seems like it's not really getting in their head that the Colts have won that first game, and they're playing very well. So both teams kind of matching up just like it was last game. Not really any team showing that they're more dominant than the other. Both teams kind of evening out, and it seems like they're playing kind of like the same style almost. But the Colts, and I do like it, they're taking more of a ground play stance against this. And the monkeys are going for more of an aerial, but the aerials are going to work out, and Jaquitl in the back of the net gives the monkeys an early lead.
Yeah, I mean, you see both Colts on the backboard. And when they both miss, that ball's just going to sit in mid, and Jaquitl's going to say, yeah, I can shoot this ball. And he does. Monkeys will take the lead and control the ball off kickoff. And, ooh, that ball's going to go in. Frank's going to score that, despite the efforts of Redwater. Good attempt, but that ball's sitting, cornered entirely too long. Monkeys will take a 2-0 lead.
I think Red missed the boost, or the boost wasn't there. The boost was already taken, and he had no boost left to get back to that corner. He tried his best, tried going with all the speed he had, all that speed, and he's making up for it.
Yeah, Peloton. Yeah. An unfortunate kickoff, really, for the monkeys. Not a ton you can do there. And Redwater, he atones and except for what may have been a mistake, and puts that ball right in.
What can you do except be better at kickoffs, man? I mean, kickoffs, I think kickoffs are a little bit underestimated in this game. If you have good kickoffs, or if you can just hit an open net that the monkeys give you, I guess you're back in the game. It's 2-2 right now with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left to go. Ken, what did these teams change? Because it seems like the monkeys, they're getting good shots and they're putting the ball in the net, but then they give up stuff like that on defense. It doesn't really add up.
I mean, that was really just a spacing thing. You see them both in the same corner near the ball, and as soon as it gets out of that corner, they can't really do anything about it because that just beats them to it. It's an easy shot for Red that they'll always take, and it also takes some easy demos. I'll figure this out. Strider's been impressive. A lot of good touches from him. He seems to be in the right spot a lot of the time. Here's Frank, the shot attempt. They do it by Redwater pretty easily. A good demo on the boost steal. Good shot block from Jaquitl. Strider just on the ball a lot, but not too much really. He's been pacing himself really well. Cut there, set up a shot for Redwater. Jaquitl has to go up and save it. Gets it off backboard. And a little awkward defense from the monkeys, but they'll make it work. See again, same corner of the field, and this time Jaquitl with an awkward touch, but they aren't punished. Frank will take a demo. Kill basically any chance of a counterattack. And leave it for Jaquitl to take it upfield. A shot attempt. Can't really get around it. Again, the monkeys at this point, it's a lot of ball control, but no shots being generated, and something's got to change there. It keeps going to the corner, and then the Colts just say, okay, cool, the ball's in the corner, and you can't actually shoot the ball, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and I like what you said earlier. I like the game Strider's playing. He's very rotationally sound. He knows where he's at, or rotationally aware. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. He's aware of his surroundings. He always knows where red is, and he seems to always be in that rotation. And I also like the fact that they're going for demos. They've been dominant in demos this game, and it's definitely helped them out. Last game, it was their pinches that kind of relieved a little bit of stress off their shoulders. In this game, it's demos. They don't have to worry about that pass play because there's no one there to pass to. That person's been demoed and they're out of the play. They're on the other side of the field. So I feel like they're finding ways time and time again that help them relieve that stress of a brutal offense coming their way. And I think that's where they get that's where they get all that strength at. Because I mean, what are you gonna do? Oh no! And as I say it, you don't have to worry about the pass plays. Frank passes one straight into Strider, and he's just not in a good spot in that. It happens to the best of us, and that's not what you're looking for.
Yeah, that ball just kind of pinballs around in front of the net. And Monkeys will take that one and take the lead in the game, but that's a tough one. I mean, there's not a lot you can do there if you're Strider. You're trying to rotate in the net, play good defense. Clock runs out and Monkeys take game 2 to make it 1-1. You're waiting for the clock, and you're just trying to get in to post to play defense. Ball bounces. There's no way you can get out of the way of that in time, and it costs them the game, but I wouldn't put that loss entirely on Strider. He definitely played pretty well as we move towards game 3. I mean, the Monkeys won, and it was, in terms of shots, it was pretty dominant, but it didn't feel that great from them in terms of a lot of the offense they're generating kind of stagnated even before midfield, really. There's a lot of just long clears into the corner and then collecting the ball again, and it's like they need some sort of passing play infield because the Colts aren't going to mess up corner defense like that.
Yeah, and I like what you said. It definitely wasn't on Strider that game, all of it. Definitely doesn't feel good to have that go in when you work so hard and you're at a tie game and it was really anyone's game, but that's the shot that goes in. It can't feel good for them, but it's not the end of the world. It's a 1-1 series right now. We're tied up. We're all tied up. So yeah, and definitely the Monkeys, they're not really playing much as a team. They won that, but it did not feel like a win for them. It kind of felt like they were struggling a little bit that game to get that win, but the struggle was well worth it. It was worth their while because now it's a tie game or a tie series. So we'll see how this game 3 goes.
We get into game 3. Frank and Strider on the kickoff. We're going to the Colts corner. Redwater with a car change. Don't recognize it immediately, but doesn't matter what car he's in, he's going to score though.
There you go. You give him a car, and I've noticed. I'm going to be honest. Nothing towards Redwater, but his car selection is a bit weird. Going from the Ford F-150, which I'll be honest, I can't play it, and then the Jurassic Jeep, I definitely can't play it because I don't have it. But even if I did, I don't think I could play with that. But it's not helping him out here as Jaquittle puts one in the back of the net. 1-1 already with 18 seconds left to go. Kid, it's crazy.
Yeah, a lot of stuff on the kickoff so far in general in the series, and odd is definitely one word for those car selections. I would say peculiar, just not great, but it's working for me. A shot here. Good save from Redwater. He's done a good job in terms of backboard defense and just vertical defense there. Supposed to go to mid to middle to Strider. Does a good job cutting that off. Frank rushes back out of boost, but he can work with this on the wall. Gets eaten by the corner there a bit, but shouldn't get punished for it. We'll take this out. Ball go Frank, but he just tees that up for Redwater, and Redwater is on top of him. Pounces, shoots, takes a 2-1 lead.
You know what, Ken? We can't even say anything anymore. Maybe the Jurassic Jeep is just too OP. Maybe it's a cheat code. you can't shame him for using it. I mean, he's scored both of the games to put this Colts team up. I'm just waiting to see the Scarab come out next, and I'm sure it will with these odd selections. But that's definitely got to feel good for the Colts. I mean, you get that goal that you needed to take the lead in this game. There's still 3 minutes and 45 seconds left, though. They still need to keep the pedals to the metal and try to close out this game, because this Monkeys team we've seen, both teams are so good, but I mean, you can't get scored on if the other team isn't there. But the Monkeys so deadly, and it's like the last series. Any team can come back. You have one team that likes to get ahead, but you can't count the other team out. So we'll see how the Monkeys respond, and how the Colts respond is almost going in for the Monkeys. What are your thoughts on this matchup so far, Ken?
Monkeys want that one back. That one felt pretty free. That one, they're gonna look at that and say we should have scored that. I also think that we can definitely still shame Redwater for his car selection. Good demos from him, but car selection not on point. But that shot was quite on point. It's over to Quiddle, and he gives the Colts a 3-1.
We can judge him so long as he isn't in this chat to talk back.
Yes.
Dude,
Precisely.
I would not recommend the car selection, but I think Redwater's just cracked with his Jeep. Bad car selection, but I guess for him it's pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's showing he's demoing people. He got the double demo to completely shut down the Monkeys offense, and then he gets that goal to put them up by 2. So it's working out for him so far. We'll see if it works out for him through the rest of this game. But the Monkeys, they need to somehow put together an offense. Ooh. And kind of show this Colts team up, and that's not helping. A shot off the crossbar, that's not what you're looking for at them. That seems like they're giving up a little bit too much here, and they're not really capitalizing on all of their opportunities. And I mean, you could see right there that they just did not put that goal in. That was in the middle, but a little bit too hard to put it in. The Colts are playing phenomenal right now, and they're kind of letting up at this point. But the Monkeys, it seems like they overcommit every time, and they just they have to retreat into their own field. They can't get an offense going because the ball keeps getting boomed over their heads.
I mean, some of it's getting boomed over their heads, but also some of it just feels like they're booming it away from themselves. They're rushing some touches. Redwater's going to go for a shot, not on target. But
That's the car
they're just rushing it. It feels like Frank's going to take this up a wall, pass it mid, but there's not a lot of control. They're rushing things, and it's costing them some control of the ball that they really need. Strider's going to go up for this. Met pretty well by Frank. He's going to cover, but again, the ball just goes to Redwater, and he's going to bang it right back into your half. So, on the Monkeys, I need to control the ball better. Just be a little bit more cognizant of how much time I have in terms of where other people are on the field. There's a touch from Redwater. It's drifting towards the net, but using that for Frank. But again, he has time to control that ball, and instead he pitches it upfield and to nobody and gives up possession. And here's Jaquiddle. Don't put something up the ceiling. It gets to Frank, but I don't think that was ever the intention. And it's that ball's just in. It's just these rush touches from the Monkeys aren't helping them in any way.
Yeah, I agree, and I did kind of notice. I think it's a boost thing. I believe Jaquiddle passed that to Frank, and Frank wasted half of a tank of boost just on going for the smallest aerial that didn't even need to be touched. He needed to stay on the ground for half a second longer, and he literally could have taken that up the sidewall, but they're just not taking their chances. If Frank buries one in the back of the net, maybe that's just a little bit of momentum, but this game, I think it's already in the books unless they can pull something off. Miracles happen, and I've seen crazier things happen than 2 goals in 15 seconds. But I agree that they need to take their time a little bit more. They're rushing it. I think they believe that there's so little time, they have to score somehow, but being that aggressive is not the way to do it. Being so aggressive to where you're not taking your time and you're not putting shots in. I mean, they had 3 chances. This game should be 5-4 right now if they took their chances, but they didn't. So we'll see how they come into this to this next game. I believe it'll be 4th game. Yeah, because it was 1-1 and they just won. Okay, so it's 2-1 right now for the Colts. Colts are up one game in the series. So we'll see how the Monkeys come back out in game 4. They like you said, they need to take more advantage of their opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, all credit to Redwater and Strider that game. They played really well. Redwater, especially with the demos and just some timely shooting. If you're the Monkeys, after game 1, I said, I'm not worried. After game 2, I was like, you won, but maybe it wasn't the best showing. This game's pretty worrying if you're the Monkeys. Because
Most definitely.
there wasn't really anything going on offense for most of the game. And yeah, you're even in shots, but it didn't feel like there were a lot of great opportunities being generated. There were a couple good opportunities that they missed, maybe because of being in the wrong position or whatever, but it felt a lot more solid from the Colts. I have to see the Monkeys change things up, play a little bit more controlled, maintain possession a little bit longer. And if they don't, I mean, Colts, you saw what happened. They're just going to run away with the ball and put it in the net every chance they get.
Colts are playing a more consistent game, I will say, and I think we got a car change from Redwater. He did exit the lobby and join back, so I'm kind of curious to see what this is. Oh no!
What do we got here?
Oh no!
Well, he puts it in.
Oh my!
Yeah. Oh, that is hideous.
That's can't think of the name, but I was thinking about that vehicle as well earlier, but I couldn't think of the name. But what a shot by Redwater! It seems like the Monkeys just, I mean, one committed and missed, and then the other one barely missed that ball, and it just works out for Redwater. They give him that goal for free, and I'm so confused as to how he can play with this car.
Yeah, that's a good question. We'll have to ask if we get him in an interview. But Frank's gonna take this up the wall. It's a foot reset, maybe. Yeah, he does. Doesn't accomplish a ton with it, and that's another breakout opportunity. Stopped away by Jaquiddle. We'll see. Strider touch to the corner. And Monkeys looking for a clear. They're going to put a shot on. That'll be over. Good shot. He looks for the demos on the way out. You don't get 5 demos in the last game without some of those exit demos coming through. Colts will have a nice clear here, but shot from Redwater, save away by Frank. Strider in a good spot to maintain possession. Maybe pass it out, but again, maybe a little bit of rush touch there from Frank. It's just, how are you ever going to maintain possession of that ball after the first touch?
Yeah, most definitely, and I agree with that, Ken. I don't know what's wrong with the Monkeys right now. They played so well in that game that they won, or in the last few seconds they played well. They just struggled this series, even though they've won a game. And just Strider putting one in the back of the net, putting the Colts up 2-0. It's looking great for the Colts right now. If you are any part of the Colts, if you're excited for this team, with the Monkeys, they're struggling right now. Jaquiddle, he's such a star player, but just not showing out in this series and not really showing what kind of a team these guys are. I mean, this series should have been closed. We called this from the start, kid. We said at the beginning that this series should be closed. And yes, it is only a one-game series right now, but still, the Colts are so dominant right now, and the Monkeys aren't really showing changes. Frank whiffs again. They're rushing themselves way too much, and they're not giving themselves time to think about how they want to hit the ball or where they want to hit it. And maybe it's a mental thing as they double commit, but maybe it's a mental thing because they have Redwater chasing demos the whole time. You don't really know what's going through their heads unless you get to ask them. And they have to put something together in this game if they want the chance of this, because if the Colts win, this series is over. If the Monkeys win, we go to Game 5. So we'll see what happens in this next 2.5 minutes.
Good shot attempt from Frank, saved away by Redwater in the Proteus. Actually, that's the name of that car that I hope to never see again,
or have to pronounce again.
Exactly. There's a shot from Jaquiddle, but saved away pretty easily. And long clear for the Colts. Franco collecting his corner. Met by Strider. Good touch. Forces him out, but Monkey shouldn't score this. Strider gets back actually. Never mind. Good defense from him. Monkey's a little too long to try and corral that ball. And it feels like it's a spacing thing. Spacing and control. It's just, there's not that coherent game plan really for the Monkeys. We've had some opportunities to break away, but Colts have done a good job of shutting everything down that they've tried to do. There's a pass mid. Ooh. Strider maybe could have read that, gone for a shot, but Frank's gonna go for a carry here. He's carry across net. And, nothing's gonna come of it. Spot on. Strider will save it away pretty easily. And here's some sustained pressure from the Monkeys. You know, we can try and get something going here, but time's wasting away. They got a minute 30 to score 2 just to tie it and put an overtime before it's game 4. It's going to bounce off the backboard. Awkward touch from Frank. Strider will control this. Low boost, but doesn't really need to do anything here. Just needs to kill some more time. Time running out for the Monkeys. With a good touch, will be able to control this ball. By Jaquittle. Strider up for the touch. Beat by Frank. Frank might have another touch here. But strong touch from Redwater will clear that ball out. For the Monkeys, it's now or never. You gotta find something here.
Yeah, most definitely. It seems like they found themselves in that position just a little too much in the series. That it's just now or never, and a lot of teams found themselves in that situation. And some people strive in it, but the Monkeys not. Oh,
Did not think that was going in.
I thought it was hitting post, so I was continuing my sentence, but Frank shut me up really quick and puts in a banger from across the field. But in that goal earlier, Frank had the chance to do it, but he rushed it and he messed up his flip. The open net, he messed up his flip and he just didn't get the power on it. Sure, I got back to it, but Frank redeeming himself and giving the Monkeys a fighting chance in the series. But we'll see how they do. And it just seems like they're rushing it a little bit too much. When you have 15 seconds, that's enough time to slow down and get 1 or 2 plays off to try to beat the Colts one-on-one. But they've rushed all series. Even when there was so much time left, they just rushed it, and that's not what you want. And the Colts pretty much solidifying the win. The Monkeys they rushed themselves, didn't give themselves enough time to think about anything going on, and just threw this series away.
That goal sums up this series real well. You have Frank going up the wall for what seems like a solo play. Redwater shuts it down pretty easily, gets an exit demo, and Strider looks at it and says, "I can shoot that ball pretty easily, and I'll put it in for us." That was the story of the series. It felt like for as far as general patterns.
Yeah, most definitely, and that's just the Colts were lights out this series. Didn't really give anybody, or didn't really give the Monkeys a fighting chance. I mean, it seemed like the Monkeys just didn't have that volatile offense that the can't even think of it, that the Colts had. There you go. They just didn't have that deadly offense that the Colts had. And the Colts, I mean, they strived in that game. The Colts coming in with a C lineup, beating an A lineup with ease almost. The Monkeys just not getting what they needed done.
Yeah, I mean that series will put the Monkeys and Colts into a tie for second place in the South Conference as of right now, I believe, if I can do math correctly. And sets the Colts up pretty well for the rest of the season. I mean, it's early still. Definitely plenty of time for both teams to get things going. But impressive showing from the Colts. I'd say they did a good job of just shutting down what, in my eyes, is a pretty good lineup. I mean, it's tough to play against those guys. I wouldn't know because I'm not that good, but it's tough.
Me too, man. We're in the same boat, but yeah, I mean, I do agree. And I'm trying to see if I can get these guys in here for a post-game interview, but yeah, and Redwater just said sure, so we'll see if we can't get them in here soon. Maybe to check out that car selection because no offense towards Redwater, but oh, nah, but they got the win. I, hey, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Uh, I mean, they came out and showed the Monkeys what kind of team they were. That they weren't going to back down just because they were the lower South team. And I don't think the Monkeys were expecting the Colts to come out into this game and dominate really. Because I mean, the Colts, they came out and showed what kind of team they were. They're a fighting team, no matter what. They're going to come out and throw everything at you. We saw it here. I mean, a 3-1 series from a lower South team beating a solid team. I'm not sure. I didn't quite hear what the I didn't quite see what their records are now, but they just showed what kind of team they were.
Here comes Redwater. How's it going, Redwater?
There we go.
Hello.
Congratulations on that win. Pretty
Thank
solid gameplay from you guys.
Yeah, I am very proud of Strider. That was some great passing plays and overall solid rotation.
Yeah, we definitely complimented him a couple times throughout. It was some solid gameplay. We have to ask your car selection. It was a carousel of awfulness, in my opinion.
That was the
Why?
Talk of the stream. That was the talk of the stream. What were you thinking with your car selection?
Well, going into Octane, I didn't feel like I had enough of a flipping power,
Oh,
so
Lord.
I went into the F-150 thinking that will get me the power, but then I wasn't turning fast enough, so I went into the Jeep, and then immediately popped off, and then I said, you know what? The stream will love it. Let's get the Proteus out. Literally what I said in my voice chat.
Well, love is one word. That is certainly one way I would describe it. Either way, it didn't seem to matter what car you were in. You were taking over some of those games.
Thank you.
All you can say, I mean, that shooting was lights out. The Monkeys, that there was no chance of them coming back into that series. I mean, you guys shut them down and shut them out. And I have one more question, but if you have any more, go ahead.
All yours.
All righty. I forgot to ask this earlier, and I should be ashamed of myself because this question gets asked after every game. And I forgot earlier, and Debbie made sure to remind me. But is there anybody that you would like to call out from any league? I mean, hey, if there's cross league drama, I'm all right with that. But anybody you want to call out, anybody you look forward to playing in this season?
Actually, I don't know anybody in this entire league. I'm brand new here. This is my first season.
Fair
So
enough.
the only people I have to call out are my teammates for being amazing, and for Moifen for introducing me to this league.
There you
Well,
go.
that's entirely too wholesome for me.
Ken wanted a little bit more fighting, so you heard it, FDL. Redwater said he can take on any of you. I heard it from him first. I don't have the clip. Nobody knows where it went. But I'm not gonna lie, Ken. That was a fun series to watch. Um, I look forward to tomorrow. Oh my gosh, Ken! And the best news ever, we're gonna have streams all weekend. So
That is the rumor.
this is not the last you're gonna see of me or Ken. Hopefully we get to stream again, we get to cast again, man. That'd be so fun. But I appreciate everybody watching. I hope you guys had a fun time with as much as I did, and I'm sure as much as all the other casters did. We'll see you guys tomorrow. I've been Cyprock, and that's been Ken. You guys have a good night.
Play the music loud from a bigger crowd. Don't let the light